Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. Now, before we begin, I want you to imagine yourself when you were a little kid, when the teacher said, hey, I want you to come up closer. You're going to love what we're going to learn today. And you're like, oh my gosh, you screwed up. It wasn't like when the teacher said, hey, you're not paying attention. I want you to come to the front of the classroom, which is more for me. Give me a lot of anxiety, a little PTSD that comes up with that. This is a time I want you all to kind of come up to the front of the classroom in your life and let this word just wash over your heart, your spirit. You may have noticed over these last few months, I've been having a lot of fun sharing different words with you. And not words just to learn intellectually, but words to embody spiritually. I think 2 months ago, we introduced the word eudaimonia, a Greek word that means tranquility, a way that we can navigate through life and not lose our soul, not lose our center. Another word was equanimity, which was when we do get knocked off our game, when we do lose our center, it's a spiritual practice to notice that when we're off, to say, okay, compassionately, I'm going to bring myself back into my center with love. That's equanimity. Now, another E word. I didn't even plan on that, but this is really awesome. This is called eudaimonia. Eudaimonia. Yeah. There's a little gangster in that. So this may be my favorite one of all. This is something that Aristotle coined thousands of years ago. In fact, what he said, this is the highest in human achievement. This is the goal of our human existence. Eudaimonia, Eudaimonia. You can look it up because it's amazing. What it basically means is noble purpose. Remember a few weeks ago we talked about Harvard's study on purpose and its relationship to being one of the most powerful indicators of whether or not we're going to have a life of success, deep, beautiful, connecting relationships. You're going to live longer and stronger. In fact, you'll decrease your chances for contracting many of the scary chronic diseases that come into our life later in life. And what's beautiful about this idea of noble purpose, according to Harvard, it's the thing we should all be shooting for. It's all about how do we go out in the world and serve. And interesting enough, this word eudaimonia talks about full alignment with one's deepest values. That's what Aristotle was talking about. So when I ask you about eudaimonia, think to yourself, oh my gosh, if I was to lead my life, full alignment, here are my values: honesty, trust, faith, love, compassion, kindness, showing up, just doing all those things and bringing them forward into this world so others can see you. That is noble purpose. And that's the highest achievement for us as humans, according to Aristotle, and now being backed up by great science from Harvard. And listen to this. When we live in alignment with our values, and when I think about that, I just look at my life and say, okay, what are the things that I value more than anything? And am I leading my life acknowledging those? Not just acknowledging, but living them. An acknowledgement that's absolutely tangible, that how I do each and every day, my values show up, and how I communicate with others, how I talk to myself, how I show up in the world. Because interesting enough, when we do this, according to Harvard, we will decrease the compounds associated with anxiety and depression. And alongside of that, physically, we actually lower inflammation. So you tie together what Aristotle was saying. He was saying thousands of years ago, one of the most powerful ways that we can lead our life is to get very clear about what we value and then courageously dedicate our lives to living those values. And he said it was the highest of human existence. It's the reason why we are here, if we can really connect to that deep level of eudaimonia. And interesting enough, thousands of years later, Harvard comes and says, you know what? When you live your values, when you live your life with noble purpose, you are going to decrease systemic inflammation. You're going to help yourself mentally and emotionally navigate with more positivity and resilience. And yes, this idea of full alignment with one's deepest values is a beautiful way to demonstrate to the rest of the world what is possible. I think eudaimonia is like a possibilitarian's feast, an opportunity to examine how it is that we think, how we move, how we do our life, and do it in such a way that grace becomes us. And then when people lay eyes on you, grace becomes them as well. Eudaimonia. Oh my goodness, what an awesome way to lead our life today and every day. Much love and all blessings. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.